Oh god, here we are again, with total drama. Earlier this year, I covered my first Pacateo Island character, Scarlet. It was interesting, but let's hop back on over to the second generation of contestants and look at one of the more friendly yet unelaborated characters, the one who goes by B, or Beverly. He is an extremely intelligent character who actually puts it to good use in the real world, unlike the other intellectuals on this show. He's very mechanically minded, and he frequently builds robots and machines to help during challenges on the island. There is a catch, however. Beverly does not speak. He's completely silent, mute. He occasionally looks like he's gonna say something and then he just stays silent. So I ask the obvious question, why? Is it a mental condition, physical condition, or most intriguing of all, is it on purpose? The only way to go about this is to look at all of his scenes in unison at once together holistically. This includes his audition tape, which harbors crucial details. What is up with Beverly's mutism? Who is he truly? What are his goals? Well, I do have some theories, but given his nature, we can't know anything for certain, and that could be the way he wants it. Hello, I'm the Theorizer! First, let's check his audition tape. It's full of robots and machines, and then at the end he's about to speak and the battery gets cut off. He also comes very close to speaking like this a couple more times in the show, and he looks like he's about to make a big statement right as he's eliminated, but he's flung away. We know he could have said something even mid-transport though, because Beardo, another voiceless character, did that after being fired from a cannon in Pacateo Island. Yet, while B wants to make a stand, he didn't seem like he utterly truly needed to get any last words out because he could have done it in that time. He was just gone. He came and went as mysteriously as he was. Beardo, of course, spoke during his elimination, and I think in his audition tape as well. B maintained his composure throughout. The most important part of his audition tape is actually how he raises his eyebrows and flaunts his individuality. He's very aware of how he appears to everyone else. His robots are the stars of his audition, and this is the first time the producers meet him. He shows off his intelligence and concisely, smugly tells them everything he's about. Him not speaking right when it cuts off, it's not about the battery dying. This isn't a one-time live recording. He can re-record his audition tape to get something better. I mean, he seems to care enough so as to present his robots this interestingly, but he doesn't care enough to replace the batteries and finish his speaking. This is intentional. The dissonance between his intentions is not dissonance, it is method. Whether it was initially improvised or not, B has made mutism his unwavering shtick. He needed that little extra oomph to stand out, and this is it. We know this is the case too, because if he were simply shy, he wouldn't communicate as much non-verbally. He'd be shy, he wouldn't constantly be speaking with facial expressions. Exactly, it's because he's not shy, he's very interactive and involved and open and often even cocky. He simply doesn't speak. It's very possible that the producers tell each contestant to maintain a specific shtick, and then they set them on each other's throats. Either way, it is a shtick. If it were selective mutism, then he wouldn't seem to intentionally restrain himself when about to speak on the show. He'd know he's incapable and he wouldn't even try. It's all on purpose, so he stands out. I mean, he could also have a questionable inner world or complicated backstory, and this provides him an excuse as well. Now, as I was going through his scenes again, I noticed one of them creates a sort of impasse. Dawn unknowingly has an extraordinarily high IQ and observational aptitude. We confirmed this, if you'll recall, in her video a couple years ago. Remember, she's Sherlock and doesn't know it, so she scapegoats spirituality. Anyways, in an earlier episode of Season 4, she claims that Beverly's aura shows that he never talks, and she often knows what she's talking about, yet more proof that she's not spiritual but observant is seen when B is eliminated. She looks absolutely shocked when he acts like he's about to speak. This is because she was inaccurate on her assessment. And yes, of course, he proves that he can at least vocalize when he screams during his elimination. So now we know Dawn does not have a 100% success rate in observation and reasoning. This is because it's just reasoning, not spirituality. This is good data for her and Izzy's theories, but what it means here is that B is, yes, doing it all on purpose. So that's why Beverly doesn't speak. Either he or the producers have enforced this shtick. But what I really want to know is who Beverly is. Unfortunately, never once is there presented an answer. Why does he want the million? We cannot know for sure. He is an enigma. B cannot be solved beyond this point because he does not exist beyond this point. All we can barely infer is that his home implies he already has some money and the means to building highly advanced technology. He has shelves upon shelves of books in a cool metallic laboratory, so we can only guess based on his character what he'd do with the million. He'd improve the world's technology. But now back to the producers, because their relationship with B is another key to the background of this show. I noticed how Chris mocked B's shtick and then made sure to fire him from the catapult just as he was about to break character and talk. B, of course, didn't have the guts to say anything in mid-air like Beardo, but Chris wasn't letting it up the chance while he was sitting there waiting to be flung. Chris, being the executive producer, did this to keep him in character while testing him. If it is true that the producers are behind his mutism, and B was so hesitant to talk even after being eliminated, it's possible they were blackmailing him with more than just elimination threats, or that they'd convinced him he'd get something from still staying in character off of the show. Of course, my theory that the producers are demons who exchange souls is not proven here, but merely assisted by the subtle blackmails such as the possible one we see here. All of my theories together prove their diabolical intent. This isn't some theory for another day, it's the recurring theme of every total drama theory I have. The showrunners are biblical hell spawns, metaphorically or not. Every single time I discover a character's motivation, there seems to be at least one area that the producers have a hand in. Total Drama is a finely tuned reality show. At the beginning of my Heather theory, I briefly touched upon her relationship with the producers. I'll discuss it a little more here because I'm on a roll, and because ever since Chris Part 3, I have found more. Heather basically is entertaining the producers and the audience so that they will keep dropping immunity in her path for extended ratings, affectionately referred to as some sort of Scheherazadic gambit. But the producers, they have unspoken deals and tricks like this for every contestant, picking only the best stereotypes and bashing them in. This is why they call it Total Drama, and why they are pressured into being demons by the fans, who, as we learn from Sierra, are particularly insane, a dilemma of their own creation. Chris loves it, whereas the network and the other producers are sort of scrambling. Chaos breeds intrigue. This is why the stereotypes either dwindle or gain hyperspecificity with generations 2 and 3, leading me to B once again, who is not just some smart guy, or just some cool guy, or just some silent guy, he's all three. And to spark the total and complete drama, they give him a foil. The bombshell you should have noticed by now is none other than Stacy. She is his opposite, highly unintelligent, inexplicably nerdy, and does not stop talking. They did all of this on purpose by experimental design. This is what B is, this is what Stacy is, this is what Heather is, this is what the producers are. And this is the show. Now I merely need to determine if the show's supernatural elements can legitimately prove the demonic nature of the producers. I've been working on this since January 2019, I won't stop now, but I will be pausing and continuing through another character later, once again. Make sure to check out my theories on Chris and Chef. There are 3 of them, and they're sort of the basis to my producer claims, alongside the intro to the Heather theory. Also, make sure to check out my 2 Izzy theories and their spiritual part 3, the Dawn theory. Everything is interconnected, so I'm sure it would also do you good to check out the remainder of my TDI theories, including my individual ones on Mike, Sierra, Scarlet, and sure, maybe even the Ezekiel one. Check out my Twitter at the Theorizer YT. I take requests there. Get ready for more SpongeBob, iCarly, and then my dreaded Mort theory will continue. Of course, though, until next time, I'm the Theorizer.